What's going on, everybody? This is Roger MC, and today we are back at it again with the NECA Munsters figures. Today we're looking at Herman Munster, the Frankenstein dude. So here he is, and here he is with the previously looked at Grandpa. So as you can see, Herman is quite a bit taller than him, which makes sense. Figure it will also be fun to look at him compared to the taller new blood Jason Voorhees. And yeah, you can see he's taller than him too. And of course, as I'm sure you can guess, he is definitely taller than Marvel Select Spider-Man. And as far as how tall he actually is, let's find out together. So, he is going to be the bottom of his platform shoes to the top of his head. Looks like he's just under 8.5 inches. And that would translate to, let's say just over 21 centimeters. So yeah, he's a tall dude, but that makes sense given, if I remember correctly, the actor who played Herman Munster in the show was like 6'5", and then they gave him like these big shoes, and then like they elongated his head with this thing, so it made him like 7 feet tall, something like that. So that's kind of cool. I think that the likeness is really good. Definitely looks like the character. He's even got the bolt on his head there. Got the nice flat top for the hair. Definitely looks accurate. He does have the bolts in the side of his neck there on both sides. Those look good. The face sculpt, all of them look really good. They definitely emulate the look of Herman Munster. And then as far as what he's wearing, well, it's kind of a simple thing. He's got a black shirt with some wrinkles on it, and that's about it. And then besides that, he's wearing just like a sport coat type thing. It's got a nice like pale, almost like a chocolatey type brown color to it. I think it looks really good. I like the folds and the pockets and all of that. And then on the back, it's just simple wrinkles and folds and all of that. The pants are the same color and presumably the same texture. The arms, I like how the arms are kind of like bulged out a little bit on the side there. That looks accurate. And then with the wrists, you'll notice that he does have the stitch marks there for when he was put together in the laboratory. And then you have his giant feet, which they look accurate. I always thought it was weird whenever they had Frankenstein's monster have like these giant feet. But, you know, that's accurate to what they did with the original Universal movie, so I guess it's accurate, even though that's not what he looked like in the book. But regardless, so there he is. It's a pretty simple look. I mean, he's basically just wearing two colors. But, yeah, it's pretty simple. And as far as articulation goes, his head can look up a little bit. It can look down a really good amount. And it can pivot side to side and all of that. And then, so the head has its own point of articulation, and there's also a point of articulation down here. So you might notice that the neck itself can also move around. So that's pretty cool. You get some decent range with that. So using all of that together, it doesn't really affect it that much, but it is still cool to have it nonetheless. For the arms, they can go out about that far, which I think is fair. Can rotate. They can theoretically rotate all the way around. It's just that this piece here, like up at the top of the shoulder, it does kind of get in the way. So it does work. No bicep swivel. He does have a single jointed elbow though. And as far as NECA joints go, I think it looks good. You do, of course, get a rotation with that. And then for the wrists, you do get a swivel and a hinge. So there's that. And then for the torso, there is a joint, but like what they do with like their Michael Myers figures, it's really hard to use. But he can go back a little bit, and he can go forward a little bit, and then yeah, he can go side to side, but that's really about it. So there we go. Not much with that, but I think that's fair. For the legs, they can go forward and back, pretty good amount, I would say. I think that that's pretty good. Then they can, of course, go out to the sides about that far comfortably, which I think that's fair. You do get a really good thigh swivel, so if you only care about the thigh swivel, there you go. Then you get a tight very tight, single jointed knee, which gives you about that much range comfortably. Presumably I could go a little bit more than that, but yeah, there we go. So you get close to 90 degrees there, I guess. I mean, it's better than 45 degrees, so there you go. Does also turn a little bit. And then for the ankles, they go back a really good amount. Then they go forward, really good amount, and then they can also pivot and turn, and that's about it for the articulation. And then as far as accessories go, since we talked about the head sculpt and how it looks accurate, how he's got kind of like that side glance with like that smirk that he often does. There are other things that he often does in the show when it comes to facial expressions. He often has a laugh to him, and it's a pretty iconic laugh. And I think that this is a good-looking head sculpt to emulate that, how his eyes are kind of like half open, and then he's got that like really wide mouth. And if you're familiar with the show, I'm sure you can hear the sound just looking at that. And then another thing he's known for doing is kind of freaking out a little bit and kind of like waving his hands around like this. And when he does that, he often has this kind of worried look on his face, and so I think that that looks really accurate. I think that that's really cool. And then as far as hands go, so he does have kind of like these open, just kind of like neutral hands, I guess. But then he does also have some other ones. He does come with some gripping hands. I'm sure this is for some accessories that we'll look at later. But yeah, so he does have kind of like these gripping hands. And then he does also have, this one as well. So I guess these would be the more accurate gripping hands. And I'm sure this one is for one of the other accessories that he has. Then he does also have some fist hands. I do like the detail of like the black nails. I didn't really point that out, but he does have the black fingernails there, and they look accurate, so there's that. And he does also have an alternate right hand where he's just pointing. So, yeah, there you go. He does have a pointing hand there, which I think looks pretty good. And he does also have, I'm sure this is a reference to when he became a wrestler, when he was demonstrating his strength, and he takes a bar and he bends it. So the bar itself does look good. It is just, it's just a piece of, plastic with a wire in it. But I do like the details of like the, I don't know how well you can see it, but like the rivets along there. Like it looks like a piece of metal, and you can actually bend it because it does have a wire in it. And so you can also have it in its neutral form. So there you go. There's that. Then he does also have kind of like Grandpa, how Grandpa had that cape that can attach to his back. Herman has a little napkin thing that he can... Why am I forgetting the name of this? Well, he has it. You know what this is for. It's for putting it on his neck, and you can kind of do it similarly to how Grandpa had the cape. It's just kind of... It's a little bit harder to do with this figure because you kind of have to get it inside the shirt. But you get the idea that you can kind of have it like that. And then in terms of what he can eat, well, for one thing, he does have utensils. So he does have a fork and a knife here, and they look good. I think they look accurate, like they look like actual pieces of cutlery. So I think that that's cool. And yeah, so there is that. Then he does also have the knife here as well. Those look good. Then he does also have some pancakes, because of course he does. And these look really good. He got like some butter and some syrup on there, and then the pancakes themselves look good. And yeah, so I think it's cool when figures come with like pieces of food like that, so you could have like a whole diorama. So I think that that's cool. He does also have his briefcase when he goes off to work, and I think that that looks good. Yeah, there's no detail on this, but that's okay. You got the latches there, and no, it can't actually open. It's just designed to look like this. But yeah, so you could just have him like, holding onto it like so, and then you could have him go off to work with this. And then the last thing that he comes with is this little toy of I guess it's himself. I can't exactly think of the episode that this is from, but it does look good. The head itself doesn't move, but the arms do. But the head looks accurate. It's like a really small, simplified scale of Herman. He's wearing black with like this green shirt underneath. And then, like I said, the arms do move. They can basically just go forward and back, and that's about it. But yeah, they do move nonetheless. And yeah, the legs don't move, the torso doesn't move. It's just kind of like that. So the arms move, and that's about it. But yeah, it's still cool to have that nonetheless. So yeah, that's cool. And then I guess just looking at the box here, so it's got a similar art style to the Grandpa one. It says Ultimate Herman Munster action figure. It's got a picture of the figure there, the logo. Then you got some product shots of what he can do and what he can look like. And then yeah, there's that. And then yeah, it's a napkin. Yeah, it's a napkin, but I couldn't remember if it had a name when you wear it like that. But anyway, so you got all that. You got that on the top. You don't really have much on the bottom. You have all of these people. Shout outs to all of these people, if it will focus. These are very good people that have made this product. There we go. So there we go. Shout outs to all of them. And there's that, if that helps anyone. I ordered this off of the NECA website, so I don't know. But there's a picture of him. And then you get the inside, and it looks like it's the same interior art as the one that came with Grandpa of like the stairs. So there we go. There's that. And so I think that this is cool. And if you saw my review of the Grandpa figure, then you would have heard me say that I think it would be cool if they made other ones. Like, I know they made some based off of the Rob Zombie Munsters movie, but I think it would be cool if they had, like, you know, Lily and Marilyn and Eddie. I think that would be kind of cool if they did that. Even if they did a Spot too, like, that would be really cool. But regardless, even if it's just these two, I think that they look good. And so yeah, they look nice together. I think they would be cool for a display, especially if you're a Munsters fan, or even if you're just like a Universal, you know, like horror movie fan, because these guys were kind of inspired by that. But regardless, that is what I got. So if you enjoyed this video, you like Herman Munster, you like the Munsters, you like what NECA's doing with these, you want to see more stuff like this, do be sure to leave a like. You can let me know in the comments what you think, if you're interested in that. If you want to see more content like this, you can subscribe. You can stay tuned for other videos and things like that. But other than all of that, I do hope that you enjoyed. I do hope that I'll see you all later.